Change.
Everything's here.
You put everything here? I need to get rid of my coat. You put it over there?
Yeah, put it here.
How are you?
Good. What about you?
Good. I wanted to be still in bed. Hey. The things we do for medicine, huh? My hair longer was better.
Longer is better. Let's see, I think two people already joining, right? How many? 30 people. 30 people is joining.
How many joints? You need your glasses?
Not really. Do you have your drink?
What?
We can drink. It doesn't matter. 1 hour talk.来了。
When I found your text at 7:20, I thought, oh my God, is it 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock?
So today's International Ladies' Day.
Is it? What is the International Ladies' Day? I don't even know that there was an International Ladies'
Celebration for how good the woman is, how great the women are in the world. 医生来了啊！医生他刚刚手术结束。32个朋友进来啦，然后我也加入这个。Hello, everyone. 大家好哈，这是我们的那个格莱堡美孕的医生 Dr. Zeitoun. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Happy
International Women's Day.
Yeah. 那今天是38妇女节，我们特意格莱堡美孕跟橄榄枝平台一起举办了这个特殊的一个针对38妇女节的试管婴儿的这个直播啊，希望大家呢有问题就可以提问，主要是针对试管婴儿的。So let me introduce you first. 我们的医生呢叫 Dr. Zeitoun， 他是在格莱堡美孕的首席医生，然后他在试管婴儿这个专科有39年的经验，是一个非常有经验的医生。然后他还是他还是哥伦比亚大学的妇产科教授。然后希望大家有问题多提问，今天主要是针对试管婴儿这个问题展开提问还有解答。Okay, I tell everybody if you have question, you can ask. I think first we can talk about like how the IVF works, so let the patient understand what is IVF and how it works. 首先呢，我们先给大家讲一下这个试管婴儿，什么是试管婴儿及它的这个基本的流程。
Well, IVF is a method where we take the eggs out of the ovary and manipulate these eggs with the sperm outside the body, making an embryo, and then returning it back into the uterus to implant.
试管婴儿呢，OK, this is our voices. 试管婴儿主要是一个比较流程是取卵，首先取了卵，然后呢再做成这个胚胎，做成胚胎之后呢移植到女性的体内成功怀孕，主要是这么一个流程啊，就是大概的这样讲一下，是一个简单的试管婴儿流程。
IVF was first used for women who did not have functional tubes. When the tubes were blocked, the egg and sperm could never meet. And so we had to take the egg out to fertilize it. But nowadays, we use it for many other things, including sex selection, detection of genetic diseases, and treatment of many other reasons for infertility, including unexplained infertility.
最初的时候呢，试管婴儿主要是因为有的女性她的这个输卵管不通畅啊，或者是她在这个生殖方面有一些问题，她不能成功怀孕才做试管婴儿。但后期呢，试管婴儿发展的比较全面，很多就是说选择性别呀，或者是基因优化呀，从这些角度来做这个试管婴儿的这些客户越来越多了。
Do they have any questions?
Yeah, the question is how long the embryo can be storaged.
If we freeze the embryo, it can be stored for a very long time. There is no specific time where we know we have to stop the freeze. So essentially, it can be stored forever as long as we maintain the freezing conditions.
通常这个胚胎的保存呢，没有太多时间限制啊，它是可以说是保存无限年的啊，只要是你想要保存，我们这边都可以保存，没有什么问题。How why we have to do the IVF in United States? Any advantage compared to other country?
Well, I think IVF in China is very advanced, and there are clinics in China that are very experienced in the process. But every country has special rules and regulations regarding medical procedures. And there are some procedures that we can do in the United States that are not available in other countries, like using donor eggs or transferring the embryos into a gestational carrier. So there are processes, every country is different, and we get patients not only from the Far East, but also patients from Europe in some countries where the regulations will not allow the process they need to have done.
通常来说呢，在每个国家呢，试管婴儿都有它自己的优势。当然，在中国呢，也是有它自己的优势的。那么能来美国做试管婴儿的话，肯定是跟其他国家的有不同的地方哈。主要是在于，在美国呢，可以用捐卵、捐精这样的方式来做这个试管婴儿。然后呢，也可以把你做好的这个胚胎移植到代母的这个体内去怀孕。所以这在其他的国家有一些这个比较严格的规定是不能做的，这样在美国呢是可以做的。同时呢，在很多欧洲的国家他们也是非常严格的，不能很多这个都不能做的这些方法，在美国都可以做。美国是一个比较灵活的国家，同时它的法律也是很严格的可以保障大家的权益。Have 50 people. Let me see some questions. So they want to know about the fresh transfer and the frozen transfer. What the difference?
In the fresh transfer, we will transfer immediately after taking the egg out. We will culture for 3 to 5 days, and we will transfer the embryo without freezing it. If we freeze the embryos, we can freeze them for a long time, and we have to prepare the woman to receive this embryo, and then we will put it back into the uterus. The results with fresh and frozen culture are very similar. So fresh transfer and frozen transfer have similar results. Sometimes frozen cycles have slightly higher pregnancy rates because the fluctuations in hormones are not so high.
所以说，在这个新鲜胚胎的移植和冷冻胚胎移植上的区别呢，新鲜胚胎通常是胚胎这样做到第3天到第5天的时候，直接移植到女性的体内。 然后呢，它的结果哈，就是说不管新鲜移植和冷冻移植，它的这个结果其实成功率是差不多的。那就是说，冷冻移植呢，感觉上就是会比新鲜移植的成功率稍微会高一点，因为它在调整女性荷尔蒙上呢，医生做的这个准备工作可能更好一些啊。Okay. What we should do if we want to do IVF in the United States? What we need to prepare?
Well, there are some, we usually require some testing done to see if you need IVF and what is the process that we are going to go through. We usually will have a consultation, and this can be a video consultation to decide the plan going forward with the IVF process. What type of procedures will we do, not only taking the egg out and making the embryo, but sometimes testing the embryo, freezing, fresh transfer, frozen transfer. There will be a lot of decisions that we make before the cycle is started. After this, we will start the treatment. Sometimes we can start it in China, and then you can fly to the United States for the procedure itself.
所以说这个试管婴儿来美国之前，这个流程呢是所以先做我们要求的一些基本检查，夫妻双方呢做好这些检查，做好了检查之后呢，我们会预约一个视频会诊，跟医生一起沟通你的这个治疗方案，然后我们会给你按照这个方案做这个赴美计划。做好了之后呢，你在美国这个诊所做好了胚胎之后，我们会把这个胚胎按照你的这个时间去移植同时呢，你可以在中国准备好这个移植的流程，也可以来美国的时候呢来准备，都可以。这个时候是医生根据您的个人要求，按照你自己的这个时间上的要求、身体上的要求，给你制定适合你自己的这个计划。So I think patient want to show some video. 视频可以联系一下那个客服联系我们橄榄枝客服要一些视频，我们可以给你们看一下。
Will we be able to see it here?
No, I think they can ask customer service, and we have a lot of video we took before, and they can show them. Yeah. We also can show them how the embryo grows, right?
Yes.
Like day 0 to day 5. Let me get the paper. This one is very good to show day 0 to day 5. Okay. So this is day 0.
This is okay. So this is the first day where we take the egg out here, and we have the egg there, a mature egg. We do fertilize it with the sperm, and many times we will inject the sperm into the egg. This is called ICSI.
这个是首先，这个是胚胎发育的第0天，在这个第0天的时候呢，我们会对这个卵子进行单精子注射，然后呢，给它做成一个受精卵的过程。对。
After this next day in the morning, the embryologist will come in and check if the egg is fertilized or not. So this is here a picture of a fertilized egg, and there is a very faint round area in the egg, 2 round areas, which mean that this egg is fertilized. One is coming from the sperm, and the second one is the DNA from the egg.
所以说这个是胚胎长到第1天的时候，我们胚胎专家呢会对这个胚胎进行检查，看它是不是已经受精了。如果说这个有这种很圆很漂亮的过程，加上这边一个小的点，就说明这个胚胎是已经成功的变成了一个受精卵。
The next day, the embryo will start to divide, and here we see that the embryo is more than 1 cell. You can see it's 2 to 4 cells usually on this day. And you can see here 4 nice cells in that embryo.
这胚胎发育到第2天的时候呢，这个胚胎里面的细胞呢会变多啊。现在通常在这个阶段会达到2到4个细胞的状态，这个状态就是比较正常的胚胎发育到第2天的这个情况。
On day 3, the embryo has divided more, and there are 8 to 16 cells then, and it will continue to divide on day 4. On day 4, it's very difficult to count the cells because there are too many to count. And if we continue observing the embryo on day 5, it will make a cavity. There will be a cavity in the middle of the cell. We call it a blastocyst. And around this cavity, there are a lot of cells. Part of these cells will make the placenta, and the other part will make the embryo itself.
现在我们讲的是胚胎到第3天的时候呢，形成的是大概8细胞的这么一个状态，它的发育啊。然后到了第4天的时候呢，通常胚胎就会发育，有很多的细胞发育出来，形成一个桑葚胚。然后到第5天的时候呢，就是我们最希望看到的一个囊胚。囊胚的时候呢，这个主要的这个细胞形成的是一个胚胎，这个婴儿的这个placenta，然后周围的地方形成的是一个这个整个的一个宝宝，这个是一个非常非常好的一个胚胎状态哈。OK， very good development pictures.
Nice embryo.
Yeah. Do you have more questions? Also, patient want to know what is the latest technology of IVF in America right now.
Well, apart from using over the years better media, having everything being only one-time use with the instruments that we use for fertilization, we right now use a lot of pre-implantation genetic testing on the embryos. We can do this through a biopsy, or we can do this through analysis of the fluid around the embryo. So we don't need to have an invasive procedure.
所以说现在这个试管婴儿呢，在美国呢发展的主要是他做的这个PGS 这块哈，它主要是现在做 PGS，可以测性别，可以查你的基因，然后同时我们也有一个最新的技术啊，这个叫无创基因筛查，就是说在你的这个胚胎的旁边的液体里面哈，细胞液里面取出一小部分这个样本，然后来做这个染色体异常的筛查，还有性别的筛查，这是一个非常新的技术啊，我们也很快就可以使用。Okay, I think patient want to know how to estimate her hormone level is decline, like how she can estimate, like FSH, AMH,
the ovarian reserve, you mean, or how active her ovary is.
Yeah.
There are few ways to do that. The first way is age. The younger the woman is, usually the higher the ovarian reserve, because there are more eggs in the ovary. But we have some hormonal tests that will give us some idea about how the ovary work. We call this test an AMH test. The AMH will tell us how many eggs are growing every month within this ovary. If the AMH level is high, this means that this ovary is very active, and if we give medication, we will get a lot of eggs that will grow.
通常如何来判断自己的这个卵巢功能是否好呢？首先你要根据自己的年龄通常是年龄越低，这个卵巢功能越好，然后呢，你这个取出来卵子就会越多。那还有另一种方法就是检查你的 AMH 值，这个中文叫抗穆勒氏激素。那这个 AMH 值主要是看你每个月这个女性卵巢卵泡储备量。如果说你这个 AMH 值越高，那说明在促排的过程中呢，你的这个反应对药物的反应会越好，会得到更多的卵子。那如果 AMH 值越低的话，那你在这个促排过程中取得这个卵的 数量就会少一些啊，主要是通过这几项来判断。OK， one patient asked, she's 36 years old, her AMH is 0.89, and she want to know how, like, what her successful rate she tried to do IVF.
Based on her age and the AMH of 0.89, this is not a level that is bad, so bad. I mean, I think she's still ovulating, she still has eggs, but it is a little bit on the low side. So we prefer to be fairly aggressive and try to get her pregnant, or at least store eggs or embryos for her, so she can have a chance in the future if she's not ready right now.
所以36岁的话，以这个 AMH 值来看的话呢，还不是很差。那医生就是说，如果说您要做试管婴儿的话呢，他建议肯定是用他的这个用药比较多的这个方案来帮你做促排，然后能更多的取出你的卵子，然后把这个胚胎做的数量更多，来提高你的成功率。Another question regarding, there's some other countries they do is called Geneva vesicle transfer. It's like 2 mom genetics with 1 father.
Germinal vesicle transfer?
Yeah, like they use use 1 young woman's genetics, like donor's egg.
Yeah, and cytoplasm from another egg.
Yes.
The egg is a big cell. The egg is a big cell, and inside the eggs there is the DNA or the chromosomes, but there is also a lot of important stuff in the fluid around this DNA or the nucleus of the egg, and there is some DNA that's outside of the nucleus. And we think that the organelles and the substances around the DNA in the cytoplasm are also important for development. So some researchers took the DNA out, the main DNA out of the egg, and introduced it in a younger egg with younger cytoplasm. And there were reported pregnancies, but this procedure is very experimental, and it is not at this moment used because we don't know the long-term side effects on the baby.
Is this legal or illegal?
It is not approved in the United States, and I don't think it's approved in China either.
所以说现在医生讲的是大家关注的这个所谓的第4代叫爆浆置换技术。虽然这个技术在美国其实现在还没有合法主要如果有人做的话，那也是不合法的在做。那而且这个技术就是说，它是通过把这个别人的这个，比如说你想是一个夫妻，他们自己想把这个胚胎做好，然后再用一个年轻人的这个卵子然后给它结合，等于说是2个妈妈1个父亲。这种做法呢，现在就是说没有一个数据能支持在将来这个孩子有没有一些不好的这个反应，因为现在是做的人特别少，然后孩子都特别小如果说在长大的过程中，因为他是用了3个人的基因，所以这种做法来说的话，将来潜在的风险是什么，现在还不知道，而且这个在美国也不合法所以说从这个医学的角度上来说的话，大家是不应该这样做的。Okay, so one more question. Is there any technology can increase the gender of boy?
Yes, you know that the egg always has an X chromosome in it, but there are 2 types of sperm. One sperm will carry an X, and the other type of sperm will have a Y chromosome, and that sperm, when it fertilizes, will make a boy. If we can increase the number of sperms that have the Y chromosome or the boy chromosome in them, we will probably be able to have more boy embryos. or if we increase the number of sperms with the X chromosome, we'll be able to have more girls when we fertilize. And there is a procedure called sperm sorting that can give me a higher number of sperms that have boy chromosomes or girl chromosomes.
所以说有一种技术呢是叫这个精子的这个分析哈，就是现在回答的问题就是你说提高男胚的这个概率，那就是把这个精子给它分出来啊，分成这个，因为有的这个 Y 染色体多的话呢，就是能生出更多的男宝宝 ，X 染色体多的话呢，就可以生出更多的女宝宝。所以有一种技术就是把这个精子给它分出来啊，能给你弄多。你想要更多的男宝宝的话，就给你更多的这个 Y 的这个染色体来帮你找到更多的男胚胎。Okay, Alice have a question. She's 37 and she have one tube blocked. AMH is 2.22. Her follicle is around 5 to 6. What kind of IVF she can do? What is your suggestion? 37,
well,
AMH 2.22.
It depends how long did she try to get pregnant. She should have tried to get pregnant. If this happened and failed, and if one of the tubes has a problem, then probably there is some problem in the other tube too. And in this case, IVF might be the best procedure for her.
爱丽丝啊，医生说呢，你一侧卵巢输卵管的堵塞，也有可能另一侧呢也会受到影响。那要看到你之前是尝试过多少次做这个试管，然后呢，接下来医生也会根据你的这个个人的这个过去的这个历史哈，然后给你出一个适合你的方案。Okay. So she also asked if this kind of situation is her success rate going to be higher? 37 AMH.
Well, the AMH is good. 37 is not a bad age to do IVF. So I think she'll have a good success rate of around 50%.
医生说你的这个成功率哈还是比较高的，爱丽丝，因为你37岁也不算大，而且你的 AMH 值也比较高。你如果尝试做试管的话，那医生对你的这个希望还是很大的哈，所以可以多尝试。然后 I think she said she tried 3 years already.
Okay, so I mean maybe IVF is a good solution for that, and it will make her get pregnant faster and have her family.
医生说，如果你尝试了3年，自己尝试的话还没有怀孕的话呢，其实他建议你就是用试管的方法，这样会更快更好的来获得这个一个适合你的宝宝。Okay. So patient asked, there is a mini stimulation and the regular stimulation. What is the difference and which one is suitable for what kind of patient?
Mini stimulation means we give very little medication. Usually we start with tablets and then we give very little injectable hormones or medication till we get the egg to be mature. In the mini stimulation, we get very few eggs retrieved and very few eggs fertilized.
所以在微刺激的方案和抗结剂方案的区别就是微刺激的方案呢，我们通常是给病人吃一点药然后打针呢打的也非常少，取的这个卵的颗数呢也比较少是这样的一种方案。So what kind of patient they use mini stimulation?
Mini stimulation can be used in any patient, but in some patients, the more aggressive stimulation does not give us a very good result. Some older patients or some patients who do not respond to the high dose of injectable medication might be a good candidate for the mini stimulation.
所以说用微刺激方案的人呢通常是年龄比较大，或者是对这个正常这个药物反应不是很好的人呢，可能会给他用微刺激方案。So other people we just use regular stimulation.
Most of our patients we use regular stimulation because if we get more mature eggs, we have a higher chance of having better embryos and a larger number of embryos that will be available. And if we have extra ones, we will freeze them for the future.
所以通常来说呢，我们是用这个普通的这个刺激方案，这个方案用的要比微刺激的多。这样的话，可以在你的年龄取出更多的卵子，这样将来做这个胚胎的时候呢，它的这个胚胎数量也会相对高这样整个成功率都会提高。Question from Jean. She's 35 and her prolactin is 134. So the normal should be under 25. And she tried to take medication but doesn't really works. Can she do IVF?
We don't do IVF mainly for the prolactin level. If the prolactin of 154 is high, and if we repeat it and it's still high, we do first do an MRI on the pituitary gland in the head to make sure there's no tumor producing the prolactin. After we find what the reason is, we will decide the treatment. We will give treatment for prolactin levels, and we will try to reduce the prolactin so she can ovulate on her own. If there are other reasons with the prolactin to need IVF, then she will be an IVF candidate.
所以说呢，我们通常不会说是因为你的这个泌乳素太高就不能做试管哈，主要是要看问题是出现在什么地方。如果说医生用药物的方法呢，是可以有反应的话呢，那医生也会根据你的这个情况来给你出适合你做试管婴儿的方案。I think she also said she have a little bit tumor under her head.
If there's a very small tumor in the pituitary gland, we call this a microadenoma. This is a tumor less than 10 millimeters. Usually these tumors do not grow and don't cause problems, but we have to watch them to make sure they don't. And in this case, medication for prolactin will be successful. If the medication alone doesn't work, we can do other things like insemination or IVF.
所以说，如果说这个脑垂体瘤呢，如果说是小于1厘米就是等于说小于10毫米的话，通常不是太大的问题。那医生呢会根据你这个用药的情况来制作适合你的方案。那做 IVF 的话，应该是不太会有这个问题的。但是医生要根据你的这个情况，看一下你所有的报告，来给你做一个适合你的方案。好，你的这个脑垂体瘤的太小的话就不用担心了。Okay, Alice, many thanks. Okay, I think we have a lot of questions. So if patient have a chocolate cyst, can they do IVF?
Yes, I mean, having a chocolate cyst does not mean you cannot do IVF. In some of the patients, before we do the procedure, we do the surgery and remove the cyst and remove the endometriosis from the pelvis. But removing a cyst from the ovary will always damage part of that ovary. So it will depend on how big the cyst is, if she had surgery before, and how severe the endometriosis is. Many times we will do the stimulation and take the eggs out when the chocolate cyst is still there, and it will be successful if we get good embryos.
所以说有巧克力囊肿的这些客户不用担心，因为巧克力囊肿呢，医生要看它的大小。那在做试管婴儿之前呢，医生会看你的这些报告，可能会给你建议先把巧克力囊肿去除，再做试管婴儿。如果囊肿不是太大的话呢，他也可以来做，要看它的大小但是说做这个手术的时候，有可能会对这个卵巢有一点点伤害，所以医生会决定根据你这个卵巢巧克力囊肿的大小，然后来看你是在手术之前给它取消，还是说在你做手术之后再去掉，所以这个要看你个人的情况。One more question. So patient said if she has a uterus fibroid, can she do IVF?
Yes, the fibroid in the uterus sometimes can affect pregnancy. Usually, the fibroid affects pregnancy if it's very big, or if it's growing inside the cavity of the uterus where the baby will grow.
现在的问题是，子宫肌瘤是否能做试管婴儿哈？如果有子宫肌瘤的话呢，医生也要看一下子宫肌瘤在里面的这个大小情况啊，有可能会这个子宫肌瘤会影响你将来的这个怀孕，所以说在怀孕之前呢，应该是要把这个子宫肌瘤拿掉的。OK。
To get pregnant with a fibroid, we still need a normal cavity. So if the fibroid is inside the cavity, or if it's too big, pressing on the cavity, we do recommend surgery first to correct the fibroid situation and repair the uterus. And after this, we can get the patient pregnant safely.
所以说，如果说子宫里面的这个肌瘤很大的话呢，医生也是建议先去掉，去掉了之后呢，然后我们再来做这个怀孕这个过程会更安全一些。Have 100 people now. So one more question from patient. So they tried IVF, they get many normal embryos, but after they transferred like 2 to 3 times, they all failed. They want to know what is the possibility, what's the problem?
There are many reasons for the transfer to fail. When we put the embryos back into the uterus, we will deposit them, and usually we will do an ultrasound exam at that same time to make sure that our catheter is in the right spot. But after we deposit the embryo might move around till it will stick to the wall. The first step is it a normal embryo? And if the embryos are tested, then there is a higher chance that this is a good embryo. But we cannot test for everything in the embryo. There are some things, some genes we cannot test for. We just test for the major chromosomes. So there might be some abnormality in the embryo that we do not see by the genetic testing. Also, we need to make sure that the uterus itself is normal, and there are no polyps, no fibroids, and the cavity is good to carry the baby.
所以说在这个问题，刚才问的问题是说，有的人呢，他做了一次试管婴儿，他有很多个正常胚胎，但是他在移植的时候呢，他总是会不成功哈。这个主要是什么原因？这个里面原因有很多。通常呢，我们做这个胚胎的移植的时候，是在超声波的这个指导下来做。那么在你移植的时候呢，医生会根据这个影像，给你把这个胚胎放到这个很适合的位置上，在子宫里。但是说有的时候呢，这个胚胎也可能会待不住。有的时候它这个子宫的情况呢，也是在医生调整了内膜的情况下来帮你这个子宫内膜达到一定厚度，然后这个胚胎才能待得住。所以说很多的时候呢，也无法说一定是什么原因，但大部分的原因有可能如果说在这个子宫调节内膜调节正常的情况下，胚胎也是正常的情况下的话，有一部分的原因是你这个胚胎有可能有一部分的细胞还是不正常，因为我们做的这个基因筛查呢，筛查的是大部分你的染色体的异常，但是有一些小的部分呢是无法完全100%能查出来的，所以说在这个移植的过程中有可能会有一些失败，也是这个方面原因的。
Sometimes there are other factors outside of the uterus, like if the tube is blocked and accumulating fluid, this fluid can flow into the uterus after we put the embryos back. And in this case, this might prevent the embryo to implant and will stop the pregnancy.
还有一种失败的可能就是说，在你这个移植完了这个胚胎之后呢，你的胚胎是正常的，你的子宫调整的也非常好，然后后期我们给你用药，你打针也很正确。但是有一种可能就是你的这个输卵管里面可能会有一些这个腹水，这些腹水呢，如果多的话呢，会把这个胚胎会受到影响，会 造成你这个不着床或者是流产，是有这种可能的。See other questions. So compared to transfer to surrogate and to themselves, which one have a higher success rate?
Well, it mainly depends on how good the uterus is and if the uterus is normal or not. If the uterus is normal, the success rate will be same if you transfer to a surrogate or transfer to yourself.
所以说，把这个正常的胚胎移植到代母还是移植到自己呢？这个成功率首先是在于子宫上。如果说子宫情况是很好的话呢，这两个成功率其实是差不多的，没有太大的差别。Okay. Another question. Can we do IVF for HIV female patient?
HIV is does not stop us from doing IVF or treating infertility. If a patient with HIV is on her medication, the viral count can be very low or undetectable. She can carry a baby safely, and the transmission to the baby is very low. So yes, we treat patients with HIV the same way we treat regular patients.
OK， 所以说有这个艾滋病的客户呢，可不可以做试管婴儿啊？这个问题呢，就是说艾滋病不能阻挡我们做试管婴儿。那试管婴儿的这个客户呢，我们对他这个艾滋病的这个里面的这个病毒数进行检查，如果数量很低的话，因为他在用药嘛，那做试管婴儿的话不是问题哈。我们有单独治疗试管婴儿的这个方法啊，还有给他们保存的这个液氮罐都有的啊，没问题。OK， I think we answered a lot of questions. Okay, I will let the patient know we have a promotion today. 今天啊，我们就是说今天是38妇女节。那如果说在今天能在我们的现场下单做这个试管婴儿或者是做冻卵的客户呢，我们都会有一个很大的这个优惠。那如果说第二种方案就是如果今天付1000块钱做试管婴儿的话呢，你可以终生享受这个12000的这个优惠价可以跟客服联系来那个拿一下那个价格单看一下。OK。I think we get a lot of patients' question answered. Let me see if we have more questions. 还有问题吗？大家积极问。OK。So I think one more patient have a question. It's for the sperm sorting. He want to know how we do it. We just use the embryology can do it, or use what kind of machine?
There is a special machine that is being used for that, and we send it out to be done, and the sperm is frozen, and then they send the enriched sperm back. The enriched sperm means that the sperm has either more X sperm or Y sperm that make the boy. And the percentage is not 100%, but it will improve the chances.
所以说在这个精子分离的方法上呢，我们是把这个精子是用机器不是用那个手来凭借经验来做的。那把这个精子送出去，在实验室的时候呢，它会分出X 和 Y， 但是这种保证也不是说100%的保证，还是有一定的错误率的所以说这个回答你的问题就是说是用机器来做然后不能说100%都是准确的。OK， Let me see another question. So she also want to know, does my husband need to do anything to improve Y chromosome?
I don't think that we know of a method that will help to increase the number of Y chromosome or X chromosome in the sperm. And usually the ratio is 50-50.
医生不认为说用什么其他的方法呢，能把这个男胚胎的概率提高。就是您先生要做什么，不需要做什么。正常的来说的话，通常这个概率就是50%跟50%这么一个比例哈，生男生女的话。Okay. So what if my AMH is low? Any way I can improve my successful rate to make my AMH higher?
We cannot really increase the AMH because the AMH just tells us how many eggs are available in the ovary. But if we know that the AMH is low, and if we know that the ovary is still working, we will try very aggressively to get the eggs and fertilize them and try to get the woman pregnant before it's too late and before the ovary stops working completely.
所以说，如果你的 AMH 值比较低的话呢，这种说从医学角度上让提高是比较困难的。那么就是在你 AMH 值降得更低之前呢，尽快的做试管，然后让医生把这个更多的胚胎或者是卵子给你做好，将来你就可以用了。Okay. They say doctor is handsome. So I think we also can talk about the surrogate. Right?
You mean indications for surrogacy or?
Yeah, the surrogacy patient, they want to they create an embryo and they transfer the surrogate, how it works.
The first thing is the reason to use the surrogate. There are some patients that absolutely cannot carry a baby safely, either because there is a problem with the uterus or there are general health problems that can affect the pregnancy. In this case, we will need to use a surrogate. There are also some patients who maybe do not want to carry the pregnancy at that time, or circumstances are not good for carrying a baby, but she can use her embryos for somebody else to help and carry for her. And this is another reason that sometimes we use a surrogate in. When we do a surrogate cycle, we first will obtain the embryos. Do you want to translate what I said first?
Yes. 所以说，在医生现在讲的说，有的人想用代孕的方法哈，在美国来生宝宝。第一种呢，就是说有的病人他可能是子宫不能怀孕啊，子宫情况非常差，或者是以前做过手术，或者是子宫摘除什么的这样的客人呢就不能用自己的子宫去怀孕，所以就要用代母。另一种方法呢，另一种做代孕的可能就是说现在女性她们事业比较成功，然后如果说去怀孕的话呢，会影响自己的发展。那在这样的情况下呢，就可以在美国把胚胎做好，然后移植到代母的身体里。无论你什么时候想要这个孩子，你可以做好你自己的时间安排或者是一些属相生肖的选择，这些都是可以的。
So first we need to have the embryo itself. We will get the egg, we will fertilize it, we will grow it till day 3 or day 5, and we will freeze that embryo to be ready when the surrogate is ready. Many times when we do a surrogate transfer, we will test the embryo to make sure that it is normal, because we want to transfer only one normal embryo in a surrogate. Some patients will ask to transfer 2 and have twins, and some surrogates will agree to that. But it is good to have tested embryos when we do a surrogacy transfer. After this, we need to choose the surrogate and prepare the surrogate for receiving the embryo. When the surrogate is ready, we will thaw the embryo and insert it into the uterus.
现在医生讲的是一个代孕的大致的这个流程哈。那首先呢，我们在移植到代母之前呢，我们要先做好咱们的胚胎。把胚胎做好了之后呢，我们会对胚胎进行一个染色体的筛查，知道它是一个染色体正常呢还是不正常。然后呢，我们也会知道这个宝宝的性别。然后接下来呢，就是来选择代母。选择代母的时候呢，它也可以你根据你的要求哈，通常我们是移植一个正常的胚胎。那如果你想移植2个胚胎的话呢，你要选择一个同意移植2个胚胎代母，那也可以是进行2个胚胎移植的，这样你可以得到双胞胎或者是龙凤胎是这样一个流程。然后在代母同时他也要准备他的这个子宫，调整他的子宫，检查他的身体，然后他再把这个胚胎到时候移植到他的体内，帮你们来怀孕。OK， so 这就是一个大概的这个代孕的流程。I will introduce our global fertility to everybody. 那我现在今天我们讲了这么多呢，我们也要介绍一下格莱邦美孕为什么大家要来格莱邦美孕，而不是去其他的地方哈。那我们公司是在位于纽约的曼哈顿是一个比较中心的地带。那我们的诊所呢是由这个全美非常顶级的辅助生殖专家打造了一个中心我们不仅有这个诊所，我们还有自己的实验室。这个实验室也是经过这个FDA 和这个和这个病理学专门这个双认证的一个实验室。这个是在别的诊所是没有的，所以这是我们的独特性。然后同时我们不仅有我们的诊所实验室，我们还有一个非常强大的团队。我们有机器人手术专家我们还有全美辅助生殖协会的主席我们还有我们的 Zeitoun 教授，他是哥伦比亚的知名教授，他经验都是在39年。所以我们还有我们全世界最好的这个院校毕业的这个胚胎专家。所以说我们把所有的这个优势集中在这里，这样会给大家呢，无论是从你自身的条件，还是从后期我们诊所的这个协助上，整个流程中我们都会给你提供是最高级的最好的这个专家。同时我们也提供最好的服务因为服务在国外来说的话也是非常重要的。所以大家如果说想要做试管婴儿的话你从格莱邦美孕还是橄榄枝都可以来找到我们这也是等于说是我们也是很幸运的。所以如果今天你们决定要这个做试管婴儿的话，可以先付$1000的定金然后我们的这个平台呢会给你们很多优惠折扣。Okay, so I introduce our clinical office, let them know how good we are and what our team is so strong to support them, and our good customer service. Our specialists have experience, so if they want to make decision, they can make deposit, and we can give them a discount of the package. Okay, I think they don't really have any questions. If they have questions, they can ask the customer service. They can provide us their report, and we can give them a video conference. 所以说我跟医生也说了，如果大家呢对这个试管婴儿有兴趣的话先做好我们的这个前期的一个基本检查，那跟我们的橄榄枝客服呢预约一个视频会诊。我们医生会根据您的个人的情况，在视频会诊中给你出一个适合您的方案，那也是比较私人的这个是一个比较公开的大家提问的地方。所以说有问题的话，大家还可以联系橄榄枝客服。那如果没有问题的话，今天我们的试管婴儿的这个直播基本上就在这里就结束了如果大家还有问题的话可以在我们的群里来提问。Okay, so we finished today's live program, so we can, if they have more questions, they can ask our customer service. Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day. Good night.
Night. Good night.